I flew from Edmonton to Vancouver to go pick this car up. This is a car I've owned previously, and I regret ever selling it. I traded it in for the 2017 Civic Type R, and it was a poor decision. I missed this car so much, and I am pleased to say, because I've been driving it for the past couple hours now, I have a 9.5-hour drive to work in this. This is my new vehicle. It is fantastic. It is better than I thought it would be, and yes, I miss this car so much. But let's do a little walk around on it. So this is a 2013 Civic Si Sedan, and I picked this up in Vancouver. The owner, previous owner, Randy, works at Richmond Honda. Super dude, super dude. He took really good care of this car. The only blemishes really are the front bumper, just from rock chips and maybe, you know, some light damage on the front bumper, but nothing extraordinary. The car is immaculate. The paint is such good quality. Like it looks almost brand new, this car. RPF1 wheels lowered on Tein coilovers. Got some tasteful modifications like the rear visor, the window visors. It's got tint on the rear windows. Full race exhaust. I can say without a doubt, best sounding exhaust for this car. I have had the N1 and the NVIDIA Q300 on my FB6. And this is by far no drone whatsoever. It also has the FB6 or the full race catted downpipe, which makes the car sound really deep. I just got all my stuff in there. Hybrid racing short shifter. Super fan of that. It feels amazing. Front lip paint matched. Kevmanz carbon fiber hood. The photos don't do it justice. It actually looks pretty good in person. And it is a vented hood. Try to get a better look at that. Like, oh, it's so clean. It's perfect ride height. He's got 5mm spacers on the front and rear, and it just fits so nice. It doesn't rub. Like, I can't feel anything in the wheel wells. What else? Not a whole lot. There's like the rear tint on the taillights. Oh man, this car is a blast. We'll get going here. You guys can hear it. Sounds so good. We're in BC. I think the cameras might be backwards, which kind of sucks, but we're going for just a little bit of a drive. Actually, we have a long drive ahead of us, approximately another 7.5 hours. I bought this car in Vancouver. I flew to Edmonton to Vancouver, picked it up at a Honda dealership off a guy who took really good care of it. And now I'm headed back to Alberta. So I'm just going to pull over, give you guys a little bit of a pull. For reference, this is a Kraftwerks Supercharged 9th Gen Si Sedan with a full race exhaust and full race catted downpipe. Heading out for day two's drive. doing some brakes on the Civic Si. Picked these up from Rockauto. They are the Z26, I can't remember, Z26 Street Warrior or something. Carbon ceramic pads from Power Stop. So I'm going to clean these with a brake cleaner and then throw them on the car. And then put it all back together and do the other side. This is either going to go really bad or good. But we're going to drop the car on these wood things so that we can get the transmission level. It's a little bit off on an angle right now, so we're going to see if we can get it level. Just get it somewhere here. I think that is level. It is. Okay. So, I gotta fill it now. All right, well, we're under here. We did the brakes already. Bled them with Modula RBF 660. Now we're draining the transmission, so that's the drain plug. We can get our hand in there. It's gonna be a little tight. There we go. There it comes. Okay, it's draining, and then we have we're gonna fill it with funnel and hose here, and we got Redline manual transmission fluid for that synchro mesh. So it's like Honda fluid, just a little more heavy duty. All right, that is definitely not the drain plug or the fill. The fill is behind this axle right there. That's a 17 mil. That's your fill. And I used a tube in that just to get it. And you fill it until you see oil start spilling out. That's when you know it's full. And the car has to be level. So now I'm just gonna brake clean everything and throw everything back on the car and be done for the night. Tune I had from the BC tuner from the previous owner. The tuner I have now from SpeedTech, Matt, super great guy, awesome customer service. He was able to extract, so baseline run we had 294 wheel horsepower and 224 torque. And then final numbers of the day, you could have pushed it a little bit more, but we wanted to stay on the safe side, was 350.9 wheel and 267 foot-pound torque to the wheels. So yeah, huge gains. He said the tune was not, it looked like the guy who had tuned it probably wasn't a Honda, didn't know how to tune Hondas, because there was a whole bunch of weird stuff going on. It was running super lean. yeah, he threw VTEC timing at it, fuel, as well as changed VTEC to lower in the RPM range. So before it was set at 58, he tuned it to 4,000, I believe, is where he ended up. Makes way more power than it did before. No mods changed, so we didn't change anything with the mods at all. We are at 2,800 feet elevation, so we're quite a bit higher than sea level here, so that's why the numbers might seem low to people that are in like Los Angeles or something. So yeah, the car made way more power. It feels fantastic. The tune is way smoother. I'll throw a picture up of the dyno graph before and after. There's quite a crazy difference there. He picked up a good 40 pounds torque at like 2,800 RPM. So way smoother of a power curve. Transformed the car night and day. The fuel economy is actually better with the more power, which is crazy, because obviously he cleaned the tune up quite a bit, right? All in all, super great day. This kit is fantastic. It's really fun and it makes great power. I will say the one thing that was of note that is a little worrisome from the tuner is the intake air temperatures at 31 degrees Celsius right now is what we're at. The car was like, after the whole dyno session and a couple street pulls and just to verify everything, the coolant temps are at 208 Fahrenheit, which is quite high. He did not like that. So he recommended for tomorrow's track day to cut a bigger hole in the hood, try to do some cooling mods to try to get the temps down, download the Hondata app so I can view and monitor the temperatures, because he said anything over like 212, buddy, like you're gonna start boiling stuff. So yeah, not great for the cooling, but that's super understandable because the front end of this car does not have adequate holes for the power we're at for cooling, and the hood isn't even vented. This Kevmanz hood is not actually a vented hood. It's kind of crazy that it's not functional, so we're gonna have to cut a functional hood or hole in the hood to let air out of the engine base. So that'll be a good mod to do. So after the dyno, Matt got me to do a daddy log on the street, and the car got pretty hot, 208. And I'm tracking it tomorrow, so he highly recommended I cut the hood because this Kevmanz hood does not have an actual vent. So you can see on the hood there's vents there. Well, if we pop this thing, wow, there's a lot of bugs on here. You can see there's no actual vent holes. So I'm gonna take a grinder to this thing, which is a shame, but I don't want the car to blow up. The car's more important than the hood, so we're gonna cut something. So yeah, main things are a lot of body roll. I want to stiffen the chassis up, tighten up the rear end, probably get an alignment, more camber for turn in, and then tires. So tires, brakes, and the biggest mod, most important modification other than the brakes, I would say, are gonna have to be cooling. So on the Hondata app, I was monitoring it, and I was bringing in like 217 Fahrenheit, which is quite hot. So 217 degrees was the highest temperature on my session, which is not cool in any way. So what I ended up doing to remedy that, I had the AC on, so I turned the AC off. I blasted the heat and opened my windows, and I ended up cutting a little hole out of my hood, which I want to vent the hood more. But that seemed to help a little bit. It did bring my temperature max from 217 to 213, which is still hot during a session. But the average during the session was like 208, 210. And I think that I did have some cool down. Like I'll do a hot lap, then a cool down lap, then 2 hot laps and a cool down. So I gave myself some cool down time. But the current grill setup on this car has some blockages in the grill, so I'm going to go probably get a mesh grill that has nothing, no Honda badge or anything on it. Couple that with another bumper, and the other bumper I'm going to remove the bottom grill section and create some ducting that can go into the radiator, so I can have a track bumper and a nice bumper. The track bumper will have ducting and the better grill. And then I'm going to probably get some venting for the hood to better vent the hood. I think this will help a lot with cooling. And then I was told by a guy at the track who did see great success with, especially if I'm only summer driving this and tracking it kind of thing. He just filled the whole car with water for the coolant and then a water wetter, and he said that helped a lot with keeping the temperatures down. So that'll be the next thing I'll do, is switch out the 50/50 coolant for water and water wetter, more hood venting, and the different bumper with different grill, open that up and a little bit of ducting. And I think that should keep the car, I'm hoping to keep the car under 208 with those cooling mods. Hopefully get it to like 200 max. And yeah, that, and one more thing I'll have to say is the Honda manual transmission fluid. I was talking to a guy who has a K24 Del Sol. He went from AMSOIL MTF, like the Synchro Mesh transmission fluid, to the Honda, and he said it was a downgrade, major downgrade. With the heat that you come with the track, the AMSOIL was far superior. And from what I've been reading, the Redline, which is what I put in this, the Redline MTL, the manual transmission Synchro Mesh, is actually rated higher than the AMSOIL Synchro Mesh, which I had in the track, and I had zero issues. Redline the crap out of this thing, like throwing it through gears, no grinds, no stickiness. The Redline, I think that's what I'll be using from now on. So yeah, that's kind of the overview on this car. I don't think there's a whole lot more. I did throw an octane booster for the track as well, which bumps my 93 octane up to about 101, 100. And that, I had no hiccups, no knocks, no nothing. Again, 350 wheel, 267 wheel torque, 15-minute sessions of lapping. Did fantastic. Super happy with the car. Just needs a couple upgrades as far as brakes and some suspension stuff. My time, I'm not super happy with my time, but considering it was just like a shakedown for what the car needs, I'm happy with that. But yeah, now I know what the car needs, and I think the car can go a whole lot faster. I need more seat time as well to get more confident in the brake zones. Overall though, that's a long 10 minutes of talking, and I hope you guys track your 9th gens, because they are fantastic cars. They are multi-purposed, and they're comfortable, and they're great. Thanks for watching, guys. It's a long video.
That's why I want a Camaro.
Wow.